in the Jewish tradition, we have a really incredible experience of time, of the carving and shaping of time. We pay attention to time, intention towards time, all over our tradition, in our Torah, in our rabbis who shaped our lives and our traditions and made our sacred calendar. It's so active and present. It feels like our tradition is an active sculptor of time. Morning, afternoon, and evening time. Weekday time, Shabbat time. Monthly cycle time. Season time, holiday time, life cycle time, illness time, war time, captivity time, freedom time, creation time, revelation time, redemption time, grief time. There is a season for everything, for every experience under heaven, as Kohelet, Ecclesiastes, tells us. It is an incredible, present and alive and stretching and moving and shaping relationship to time. So if you ever learn that time is just one thing, it clicks on a clock, it works in a linear way, let me just let you now know that you can let all that go. Our ancients knew that that wasn't true. And they gave us so many ways to experience the season, the times of our lives. And it's in Torah when we enter the Midbar, when we enter the wilderness. It's there in the wilderness that we are explicitly told about all the different ways to sculpt and experience time. Here in the unknown, the shaping of time locates us in the terrain of our lives. It maps our days and our cycles as they move with the seasons, and they bring forward spiritual themes for this time, and then for this time, and then for this time. Sacred times and holidays are described several times in Torah, all in the wilderness. These are moments often when we're like in a groove of a narrative, and all of a sudden they're like, okay, you're gonna celebrate this holiday and that holiday, and it might be a time when people are like, oh God, here we go with the holidays again. Maybe a glass over moment. But if you stay right there, why again? Why are we told again about how to shape our lives by the seasons, by the spiritual themes that they bring? Here in the wilderness, we are told about Passover and Shavuot and Sukkot and Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. We're also talked about time, life changes and transitions time, birth and illness and grief time. All of that is given in the wilderness, in the unknown. And from these kernels that we get in Torah, our rabbis spun these incredible rituals and customs that just keep coming and coming, that literally hold us and hold each other as we move through non-linear time, changing time all the times. And here is another opportunity in our Torah portion. For this week, we are in Bamidbar, in the wilderness is the name of the book, in the book of Numbers, as it's called in English. The heads of each tribe are going to make a gift. They're going to bring a gift for the altar, their offerings. Could be just like, okay, everybody bring your gift and leave it right here. But instead, it's another opportunity to shape time. God says to Moses, let them, the heads of each tribe, present their offerings for the dedication of the off altar, one each day. And then we are told who brought what each day. One offering a day over many days. Don't just drop it off and walk away. It'll be day 1. Offering time, day 2. Offering time, day 3. Offering times, day 4. And the first one to bring an offering is Nakshon. Wondered, where did that guy come from? In the Midrash, we have another story where we learn about him being the first into the sea. It's a story for another day, but this is where we backtrack from. Because who's this guy who's day 1? Well, let's learn a little bit about his hidden story. And he brings a silver bowl, and he brings a silver basin. And then there's the next day, and the next day, each day, a new gift from a tribe. We map onto and we shape our lives by these seasons. They bring us into specific landscapes, new terrain. That's a land that I am walking in now, the land of grief. The landscape and texture changes each day. And yet I know that this is the place that I am walking in. Passover comes with its traditions and landscapes. Sukkot, Shavuot, they all have the landscapes that we walk in. Passover, liberation, cleaning out, making change, speaking out, courage, redemption, Shavuot, learning, revelation, receiving, late night time, Purim. Oh, we love Purim here. Inversing. Down is up is down, silliness, humor, threat, courage, being made for this moment. All of these times hold their own landscapes that are endlessly open for our excavation. And these times are about our own personal growth and transformation and what they can give us personally, and very much always about where we are moving collectively. They hold an incredible force and motion because we are holding them collectively. It's like when it gets close to Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur time, and maybe you're not feeling it. I don't want to apologize this year. I don't want to take responsibility or make amends or do tshuva. But you know what? The whole community is doing it. So time to get on board. That's part of what happens in a collective. These are the times that we are living in. So we're going to collectively wake up into these times and do what is called of us in these times. So how is your time being shaped? What is the terrain, the landscape you are moving through? As we did earlier together, these are times of. How do you answer that for yourself right now? How do we answer that for the collective? It's important that we're able to name these are times of. Pride Month has begun. It is also a shaper of time, of cherishing queerness, of liberation, of celebration, of reflecting on our history of where we've been and where we can go, on what's needed, what we can hold on to, what we can let go of. A friend's niece called my dear friend this week, and she had such urgency, young adult, she needed to solve a relationship question right now. And my friend was like, okay, but just like, why right now? Why does that happen right now? Because Pride's coming up and I gotta make some choices before we get there. So the shaping of time can help us have a timeliness. We gotta get to it by this time. We've got to make some choices. This is the time of. And this is what needs to happen now, because there will be a new season. There will be a new season and a new season and a new season. The Israeli chef and writer Yotam Ottolenghi, okay, who is, thank you, eaten that food. He names a kind of time that's important to him, and it's called asparagus time. And I read a beautiful piece that he wrote just recently, and then I looked up, and it turned out he wrote a piece about asparagus time this time of year last year. So I was like, wow, he is really connected to asparagus time. And he wrote, he says, I was thinking about asparagus and how it evokes emotion, the anticipation of its coming, followed by the thrill of its short season finally arriving. And then there's another emotion, he says, maybe a melancholy, a sadness of knowing that soon it will be over. There is something that asparagus encourages me to cultivate. It's a skill rather than an emotion, and that's a need for patience. A need for patience. After the heaviness of winter, we want to make the most out of every day, to asparagus it up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and yet should we? Let's enjoy spring's own produce in its own right time and moment. And he shared something that I did not know, that the Romans struggled with asparagus' transient nature, and they were so determined to control it that they had an asparagus fleet. Ships tasked with rushing the vegetable from a distant province to Rome. Spring food is not reliable, he says, in the way that winter roots are. It's beautiful, it's vibrant green, it's tender shoots pushing through the soil, but it isn't built to last. Even now, we have not figured that out. You can't stockpile asparagus like you can winter squash. You can't return to it later. Asparagus is ephemeral, he said, and so like the Romans, I adjust my life around asparagus' timeline instead of trying to do it the other way around. Asparagus time. My mother followed the blooms of spring, the flowers in the neighborhoods, in this neighborhood when she walked the streets, and in her beloved Descanso gardens. And in the springtime at Descanso, you begin to see the camellias in bloom, then the tulips, then the irises, then the lilacs, then the roses. We have grown up going to Descanso with my mom and knowing what's next and what's coming and whose turn is it now. The day before she had the hemorrhagic stroke, my mom was walking at Descanso Gardens, and the lilacs were in bloom. And Tara took an incredible picture of my mom grinning with the lilacs. And a couple of days later, my mom died. The day after my mom died, my siblings and our families, we went to Descanso Gardens, and we stood with the lilacs in their time of bloom. I go each week to Descanso, and now the lilacs are no longer blooming. They are entirely gone. Now I am walking in grief time, a changing landscape that our tradition, thank God, has rituals and shapes for this whole next year. And part of what the tradition gives me in walking grief time is knowing that it will be a year. So rather than judging what is today or what was yesterday, and please God, don't ask me what I'm doing next week, I am just right here in this grief time as it unfolds each day for the next year. And I know that I am not walking these times alone. The tradition also asks that every day that I gather with a group of 10 people to say Kaddish, that I am not alone in my grief, that you are not alone in your grief. It is the collective, we walk together. And at Nefesh, we ask you literally to come forward, all of us, to stand in a circle of grievers so we can see each other and know who we are walking with. And friends, in the collective, in this world around us. We are living in such times. Such times. How do we name these times? So overwhelming. So much pain, so much harm. Times of war, times of violence, times of hatred, times of fear. These times that we are living in create a landscape that affects all of us. And they are also calling out to us. We don't pretend we're in a different landscape. We are right here. There is not one way to be with what's around us, but they certainly are asking us not to hide from what is happening, to name the times that we're living in. On Shavuot, on our panel, when we talked about the wisdom, the Torah of our times, I asked each person on the panel to please share the same question I asked you. I gave them an advance notice. How do you name these times? These times are times of. And I want to share one of the responses to end tonight. Sydney Rogers, beloved extended part of our Nefesh community, is a community-rooted program manager, social worker, artist, and advocate who uplifts the wisdom and resilience of the trans community and creative healers. She serves as a vice chair of the LA County LGBTQ Commission and the Transgender Advisory Board of West Hollywood, and she's an incredible artist and performer. And her answer to the question, what are these times that we are living in, was this: these are times of breaking and becoming. We are being broken open by truth, by grief, by a collective realization that the way things have been is not the way they have to be. These times feel like both the end of something and the birth of something else. Something still tender, still forming, still sacred. These are times of contradiction, she says, of both burnout and birth, fear and freedom, and yet we keep showing up, not just for ourselves, but for each other. These are times of radical becoming, and those of us who have always lived at the margins are showing the world how to move forward with heart, with strategy, and with soul. Amen. May we know these times we are living in, the seasons, each of these seasons as they turn, the landscapes we are moving through. May they deepen and expand our living and our loving and our growing and our caring. May we always know, feel, and experience, and please let us all remind each other that we are not walking through these times alone. We are working through these times together. Shabbat Shalom.
together. Sing with them.
Shabbos.